Hey everyone, I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between empathy and sympathy. It seems to be something that people get confused about. They use the words interchangeably when really they have a very different meaning from each other. So sympathy is when you get yourself into that emotional state of the other person. Maybe they heard some bad news, a friend or a family member had some bad news come up. You get yourself into their emotional state, you feel pity for them, you commiserate with them, and you, in a sense, you make them right about whatever's happening and whatever the opposite of that wrong. If it was someone that harmed them or wronged them, you're on that side. You're making sides, right? So empathy, though, is being able to understand where that person's coming from, what they're dealing with, and not have any judgment either way. You can empathize with someone that you don't agree with. So you have to understand that there is a clear difference, and one is more beneficial than the other. If I'm sympathizing with a friend and, commiserating with them and just feeling pity for them for the situation that they're in, I'm not helping them, get out of that emotional state. We're just sitting there, feeling sad about it together and complaining about it together, and really no solutions are being created from that. When you empathize with someone, you can explain to them, hey, look, I get where you're coming from. That seems like a really tough situation that you're dealing with. And without having that judgment and without, saying one is right and one is wrong, you can, pose questions to that person. Okay, well, what's the next step? Where do we go from here? What can I help you accomplish, moving forward? What is a progression here as far as like problem solving? So there's a clear difference between empathy and sympathy. I have empathy for a lot of people that I don't agree with, and that's fine. And also, I don't have sympathy for other people. There's no reason for me to commiserate or pity other people. If I'm pitying someone else, it's because they purposefully allow themselves to be a victim all the time. I feel pity for that person. It's like, well, because I don't know what that feels like to allow myself to be a victim. I don't know what that feels like. Um, so realize the difference, think about it, and use the words correctly. How about that? Have a good one.